So, yes, they're still doing a lot of research to figure out why it seems like dementia affects women greater than men. And so I'll tell you some of the things that I can think of. The XX chromosomes are more easily affected by the APOE4 gene, which causes Alzheimer's. And that's why you'll see Alzheimer's hit women more often than men. Men typically have a higher incidence of FTD, Lewy body dementia, and vascular dementia. This research is looking into is that women are more susceptible to cortisol and the stress factors that occur. Their brain is more susceptible to that than men. Also, they are more susceptible to injuries of, not that they get more concussions, but when they do get concussions, their brains are more affected, heavily affected than men. That's why they have urged to have more protective headgear in women's sports. They're more susceptible to getting dementia because of the fact that the drop in estrogen after going into menopause or having medical procedures done. As we age, the drop in estrogen itself is potentially a reason for getting Alzheimer's or dementia. Also, there's societal factors, like in the 1950s, 60s, it was more common for women to be the main caretaker and raising children. So they had a lot less ability to socialize, and socializing is an important part of avoiding cognitive decline and building cognitive reserve for later. So women that experienced that in the 50s and 60s, the isolation from caretaking will be the ones that you'll see getting Alzheimer's or dementia later in life that we'll be seeing right now. Also, access to proper medical treatment. A lot of the things that women have dealt with over decades, centuries, has been chalked up to hysteria or anxiety and brushed off and sent home. And, like in my mom's case, where her doctor, when she was having postpartum depression and anxiety, her doctor said, take 2 aspirin and I'll see you in the morning, and led her down the path of self-medicating and heavy drinking. And so, there's at least 2 generations that have been affected by her lack of medical treatment that led to her getting cirrhosis and me getting fetal alcohol syndrome, which led to my dementia. So just that in itself could have avoided 2 people having serious situations happen. Her in the research field with mice, where they're trans in the mice, and all that came from was from it when they were doing study for research for Alzheimer's and other diseases, but specifically I'm talking about Alzheimer's. With the mice were male mice, and so they wanted to inject them with the female chromosome to try and study the effects that things have and cause genetic mutations in females, because it has been basically male mice that they're studying to find out the effects on male humans. So there's been pushback about that, but that's where they want to go, is find out exactly how these mutations happen in the brains of female mice, if they can make female mice or have female mice. So, also women tend to live longer than men, and that's why you'll see a higher incidence of dementia is once we have reached 80, above 80, the chances of getting dementia are extremely high. And because women typically live into their 80s, that's why you'll see a lot more women than men, because when men tend to pass away before 80. So after 80, the risk of developing dementia is much, much greater than below 80. So, or under 80. What is the, oh my God, dementia's kicking my ass right now.